Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign. We are in the last year of the campaign now, finally. I didn't think there was going to be any more wars, but then Britain decided to start things, and they have now ceased to exist. And then Germany started things. Will I actually be able to wipe out Germany before the end of the campaign? Probably not. Just from the fact that I can only start one naval invasion per turn, and they do have a bit of territory. But I don't know, maybe. Maybe. I should probably do something about the... these ports are not big. I think I could take Chile. Paraguay, that's an inland region. I cannot do anything about that. Do I have any ships nearby? Did I put anything in New Zealand? No. I know I've got some, here we go. Battle cruisers and cruisers. Let's go to South America. Cross the Pacific. None of this stuff. Oh, here we go. Another battle cruiser. Great. You can link up. Yeah, I think like 100,000 tons will be enough for that invasion. But now we're gonna play some convoy battles. A lot of them. A lot of them. This one first. Tordenskjold again versus a Hildebrand class battleship. And a destroyer. Alright. Weather is actually fine. It's evening. Maybe we can get lucky with torpedoes from Viking 47. Tordenskjold is speeding up. As is the good old Viking. Am I spotting them? Yes, I am. This way. Of course I am, because Tordenskjold has insane radar spotting range. Thanks to that huge tall tower. We're a little bit low on ammunition though, because she was in a battle with an enemy battleship last month as well. And we are almost in range of the battleship Odin. I should file some kind of copyright infringement lawsuit for that use of that name. Last time though, Tordenskjold had 2 heavy cruisers with her. That was against a slightly bigger battleship, I think. Different class. Let's see. Let's take a look at the German destroyer. What kind is it? It's small. It's got 4.5-inch guns. Is this one of those Corvette gunboat destroyers? Maybe. Or just a small destroyer. Hard to tell. But it's got 22-inch torpedoes that are fast. Very fast. 64.5 knots. Short range though, so not really that dangerous. Although then again, Tordenskjold doesn't really have much in the way of secondary armament. Because it was just not possible to mount anything on this hull. It looks like there's a lot of room here, but it wasn't possible to mount anything there. Let's see, Odin has... how many guns? He's got 9, 14.7, so we're kind of equal in firepower. Kind of equal in armor. Although I'm not going through that third inner belt at any range. Do the transports have torpedoes? They do. No, wait, that's my ship. Come on, pause. They do have torpedoes. Very fast ones. My Viking is almost in range. With the kind of maneuvers Odin is pulling, I probably will not land torpedoes on her. Well, let's go with AP because that's what I've got the most of. See if that maybe works. Okay, I'm gonna launch at the transports and just hope I get lucky. And the battleship finds itself nearby when the torpedoes arrive. There we go. We are scoring hits. We are doing damage, it's just not much. I think I might get lucky with the torpedoes. I think luck might be on my side here. Three torpedo hits on Odin. That was great luck. Because I'm not sure if Tordenskjold could actually survive a drawn-out gun battle with that battleship. A couple of flooding hits to reduce my speed. And, well, we would start taking a lot more hits. Like that. Now that battleship might be having angle issues soon. It's gonna start listing over with the flooding from those torpedoes. So Viking 47 potentially saved one of my battle cruisers. That warrants some kind of medals or something. Odin goes down. That means we just need to sink that destroyer and then snack on the transports. Okay, she's kind of out of the water here. Let me just wait for her to settle. If she actually does that. Water physics being wonky. Good enough, probably. Maybe it gets to be on the thumbnail. I don't think a Viking ever has. Although it's about time, because well, when I get around to making that ship review video, they're gonna have a prominent spot, because they've been since when? The 1890s? First generation Viking destroyer, or basically torpedo boat. There we go. That thing goes down. We're out of HE. Might have to rely on the secondaries to take on the transports. Which could be scary, because even though their torpedoes are kind of short-ranged, they outrange my small 4.2-inch guns. And with a torpedo speed of, what is it, like 65 knots? Ooh, they're gonna be hard to dodge. Could just end it now, though. That's a victory already, just from sinking the enemy battleship. But I want to go for the transports. That is, in theory, why we're here, after all. Let's see, where are my 4-inch guns mounted? They should have a decent arc of fire. Four-inch guns are opening up on Hagen, which has now launched torpedoes. Which means I need to maneuver. There they come. It was a single launcher, so just one torpedo. There we go. All transports sunk. And torpedoes avoided. Good. And a battleship sunk, of course. That was the grand prize, really. 1964 is off to a good start. Next convoy battle, we got Fridtjof Nansen versus 2 heavy cruisers, a light, 3 destroyers, and 15 transports. I think Nansen can handle this, but I'm bringing the light cruiser along. Mostly to deal with the transports, I guess. Bremse, 11-kilometer torpedoes, tiny 18-inch torpedoes. Electric ones, though, so hard to spot. 20-inch torpedoes. Is this the same class as the one and the... no, it isn't. Okay, it seems Germany likes very fast short-range torpedoes in this war. That is fine, because having to dodge, continuously dodge like 25-kilometer oxygen torpedoes, that does get annoying. I think these would benefit from having 5.9-inch guns instead of 5-inch guns as secondaries. Push that secondary bubble out a little bit longer. I already hit something. I don't know what. But we're going to aim for the heavy cruisers. I think my 15-inch guns should be capable. Let's stick to the targets here. "13-kilometer torpedoes on V-35. The other ones had 16-kilometer torpedoes. Okay, so they do outrange my secondary battery. And we're still aiming for that heavy cruiser. And accidentally hitting some transports, that's fine. That is fine. We haven't launched anything yet. I'll bring this in a little bit closer to Nansen. Just keep an eye on those torpedo launches, but at least with my light cruiser nearby, I do have sonar. Okay, torpedo time. Pulsen. So I do have torpedoes on Wittlein. Not a whole lot of torpedoes, but it is something. Nansen is scoring big hits on something. I'm just gonna let her keep firing. We have torpedo launch. Yeah, Prince Adalbert is hurting pretty bad. We might get lucky with torpedoes again. Almost. almost hit Irene. Nansen is starting to take hits here. Bring this in closer to the destroyers. Back to Adelbert. Wonder if I should give these a quick refit. Let's get a little bit more range out of those secondaries. Adelbert might sink from that. That was some good hits. Yeah, I think Adelbert will sink from that. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna survive that. Flooding 9%. No, wait. Got it under control, but it's kind of combat incapable. So I can switch over to Irene for now. And Wiedblein, no, let Nansen handle that while Wiedblein takes on the lighter ships. Yeah, it's those 10-inch guns. Done a surprising amount of damage. One destroyer surrendered. On to the next one. Maybe accidentally hit a couple of transports on the way, that's fine. Incoming torpedoes that will not hit me. Put the secondaries to use on those transports. What are you doing? Did I accidentally click you or something? I guess I must have. the rudder out. It's kind of hard to dodge torpedoes. But we've sank one cruiser. And the second one is almost down. I can bring Beatplane in again. Closer. Gambling that Adalbert will not survive long enough to do any damage to my cruiser. Good. So Nansen is gonna need repairs for a couple of months. Bremse, not a very impressive. No, yeah, the low top speed. That kind of breaks it as a light cruiser. But for 124 million, you could probably do a lot worse. Could you? Maybe. Isn't that kind of the same price as my Jallarhorn light cruiser? Kind of the same speed too. A little bit faster. Just without the firepower or the survivability. There we go. That's a good salvo. So all the escorts are gone. Now it is time to slaughter. Gotta watch out for those torpedoes, though. We're gonna do a little bit of maneuvering here. Sperber. And use the enemy hulls as extra torpedo defense. Although the dead ships are absorbing a lot of my fire as well. So that works both ways. Two transports remaining. Odin and Braunschweig. You know what? You're gonna cease fire. Actually, no. She's gonna spend months in port for repair, and by that time she's going to be resupplied. It's not like it's going to get drawn into battle next turn, so it doesn't really matter. But let's do transport. Last one transport. And there we go. Very nice. Not so nice with the damage to Fridtjof Nansen, but I guess it's not too serious. Let's see how long she's going to be in for repair for. Light damage. Three months. It's not too bad. All her sisters are also engaged in battle, though. All of them. So, I guess it was a good thing I stationed them here in this, because they are doing things. Putting in work, so to speak. And this is where I need to do something. Maybe this naval invasion here is just not needed if my army is going to take it. But maybe the army is not going to take it, because they keep deciding new things all the time. And launching new offensives and taking manpower away from where the manpower needs to be. This one is going well, though. All right, on with the convoy battles. Helge Ingstad versus 2 heavy, 2 light cruisers, and 8 transports. We got a destroyer and a corvette as well. All right. K-Class, you're kind of not needed here. I'm just gonna sort of keep you around, I guess. Can do donuts here. A J-54 might be useful, but Helge Ingstad is the one that will be the star of the show. Hopefully. So the 10-inch guns on these German heavy cruisers, 55 calibers in length. I mean, they're aside from the aft being all aft belt and not having an X turret, these are not bad, these cruisers. Probably not gonna have time for a peace treaty before my retirement, but I'd pick up some of those, and if possible just give them an extra turret as a refit. Sometimes the game lets you do that, other times it just goes, oh no, it's too far from previous place, even if you're placing down something new. Will I get lucky with the torpedoes? 23-kilometer torpedo range. So I don't need to remain inside of the range of those heavy cruiser guns for long to launch. So that's good. These transports, do they have... they do not have torpedoes. Did the heavy cruisers? Of course they do. It's an AI design. Electric. Torpedoes, 22-inch, 15 kilometers. Let's put it times 3. What are we firing at? A transport. No. Wrong answer, Helge Ingstad. I know you hate transports. You're gonna have to finish the cruisers first. torpedo range has been acquired. Do we have a good, like, firing solution, though? I guess. Probably good enough. 20 torpedoes going out. 10 torpedoes going out, excuse me. We got 10 more. And we can reload. Providing J-54 gets out. Which I think she will. She's out of range already. Or should be. Soon. Let's see what we get out of those torpedoes. It could be nothing. Do donuts here until I need you. You can bring in the K class as well. There we go. Torpedo hits on. I think we struck one light cruiser. It's the heavy cruisers I'm after. We might get one. Cormoran? No. Maneuvered. Well, decent torpedo hits on Groudens. And I guess we struck a transport somewhere as well. Yeah, Braunschweig. No, not you. I don't know what ate the other torpedo. Could have been a dud. Possibly. 25 kilometers out, we're almost in range of their guns. Let's stick with AP here. I don't want to get too cocky with these cruisers. But I also know I need to close a little bit closer to actually do some proper damage. Actually, no, it's better to fire from further out so I don't take return fire. Because it doesn't matter, I can't go through their citadel anyway. Not even at point blank. Will she actually listen and reduce speed down to cruising speed? Get a little bit more accuracy. We're still doing damage though, that aft section, that huge unarmored aft section. Luckily provides us with some damage. J54 not quite reloaded yet. We can go in for another go soon. K55 though. Might have to go first. But Helgingstad is scoring some decent hits on steer, which will probably sink from that. That was a kill shot. Next up, Cormoran. Yeah, it looks like that was aft belt pens. Yeah. Actually was turning. Fore and aft belt pens did most of the work here. See if we can do that to Cormoran as well. That will be one hit. Secondary tower knocked out. He can get a little bit closer. Aft belt pen, 6,000 damage. Love to see it. Can keep that up. Well, I'll see if K55 has gotten any closer. She's closing in. Closing from this side, that's closer. J55, 54, excuse me, has rearmed. There we go, funnel pen on Cormoran. I'm just gonna launch there and see if that brings me any luck aiming at Kaiser. And then, I know these have not done well as gunboats, but I want to see if I can actually pick up a gun kill on Groudens. We're scoring good hits on Cormoran. Yeah, we're not doing much to Groudens. So, there we go. Cormoran is out. Now Helgingstad gets to take on the light cruisers. They should be easier targets. And of course, here we go. J54 starts taking big hits. Yeah, no, she could not go up against the light cruisers. Is she gonna make it out though? No, she's gonna sink. Had 2 turrets knocked out too. But anyway, Helgingstad took out both those light cruisers. No problem whatsoever. And the transports have only 2-inch guns. You're gonna cease fire with the main guns, because you might need them next turn. The secondaries, that's what we're gonna be relying on. Maybe be a little bit careful with those torpedoes that someone launched. Don't know who that could have been. Yeah, 5-inch guns gets the job done. And K-55 actually starting to do some decent damage here. What did you do 70,000 damage to with the torpedo? Not one of the light cruisers. Anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, I guess it's over now. Yeah. Lost one destroyer. That was unnecessary. But at least the K-55 proved itself as a pretty decent gunboat when she got to fire at those transports. And J-54 actually scoring 3 torpedo hits in total. Mostly against transports, I guess. Anyway, on to the next one. A regular battle. We got Roald Amundsen, Helge Jordal, and the captured US-made heavy cruiser Dallas, and Embla. We're up against a Sachsen-class battlecruiser, which is, I guess, kind of on par with my Nansen. Fewer guns and slightly smaller ones, but it's a German battlecruiser hull, so I'm sure it's very tough. Alright. Heavy cruiser, you can just follow the battle cruisers. Even if that might be a waste of your tremendous speed. 36 and 36.9 knots. Almost 37. I need to get those huge meeting battles that I've been looking for in the North Sea. Put all those big battleships to use. But the Germans have just been avoiding me. Let's take a look at... Okay. I was going to take a look at that battlecruiser, but then it disappeared. There it is. First Bismarck. I mean, that is... well, we can take it on. The armor isn't too thick. The secondary layout is kind of ugly. Kind of liking these 8.5-inch guns. I just don't like the way they're mounted. But I like that it has them. And these 4.2-inch guns. As if I would have done it myself. 4.2 long barrels. 69 caliber. Nice. What was your main gun range there, Bismarck? 38 kilometer, 54 caliber long guns, triple base. Yeah, you outrange me a little bit. But you're closing in. So now you're in range. And I've got a few more guns than you do. We're just going to focus the enemy battlecruiser until further notice. Until it sinks, basically. Dallas, when you have the range, you are to fire upon Princess Wilhelm. That's not a very princessy name, but who am I to judge? Helge Jordal has lost her main tower. From a 14-inch hit from the enemy battlecruiser. That's not a good start. Luckily, I've got 2 battlecruisers to their 1. And we're starting to score some good hits now. Is this one of those hulls that don't flood, or are they just getting lucky? There we go, flooding hits. Yeah. We can't take them on. It's fine. Secondaries can target V-15 when she gets closer. Actually, Embla, you can already start working on that. That's not a good hit on Dallas. Yeah, enemy battlecruiser switch target. Because Dallas was now the closest ship. Rudder is out. Let me sink this battlecruiser soon. hopefully it's taking a lot of flooding. And just a lot of damage in general. There she goes, finally. Dallas remains afloat. We have incoming torpedoes. That torpedo just changed direction and then detonated. That's fine. Helge Jordal. Can we make those torpedoes be dud torpedoes, please? Dud. Dud. Nice. Wilhelm sinks due to structural damage. V-15 sinks. Now we get to snack on the enemy light cruisers. Amundsen. Jordal. And these are all 5,000 tonners. 11-kilometer torpedoes. It's too bad Dallas took that big hit. Or those big hits. These 10-inch guns would have been perfect right about now, but she's listing over too much. There we go, some torpedoes. Enjoy them. I can go back up to ×3. I don't think I need to do any like complex maneuvers now. It's just a, or it should just be a pure slaughter. Thetis is just about done. Yeah, she took a big one. 40,000 damage, main belt pen. And there goes Augsburg. Regensburg and Thetis. Those are the last two. And Regensburg almost done already. Thetis, of course, just need a little bit more convincing. A few more drops of flooding. Or just structural damage, maybe? There she goes. Very nice. Alright. Didn't lose any ships here, although it got very close with Dallas. Which would have been sad because well, that's a ship I can't rebuild. Now though, we have 3 convoy battles remaining. Cruiser battle. That's a different one. That's a different class. This one has a got 4 double turrets instead of 2 triple turrets. Possibly like an ABXY layout. Interesting. Same with this one. We got Hugin and Munin together. And we got 2 light cruisers here. I've retired all the old Bragi class light cruisers. They've been turned into museum ships. So these are fairly modern, and these 5,000 tonners are kind of unimpressive. Maybe. But I did promise you one thing in one of the previous episodes, a refit program to the gunboat destroyers, the 54 and 48s, because I still have a lot of them in service and they're just not working the way they're supposed to. So instead of building new ones, I'm just going to refit these and make them into what the new ones would have been. Alright, the ship is somehow overweight. Anyway, let's see, what are we doing here? We are, first of all, barbette protection. Do I need barbette 3? Evidently, I do. We got heavy shells. We got reduced ammo. That's, let's see. We are at least removing the double turrets. We're adding more of the single ones. I think something like that. And I wanted to make these into 5.9s and like longer than well, they are kind of long. 14 kilometer. You got standard AP. That's fine. Now overweight. Take away that 1% flash fire chance. 0.3. That's not very high flash fire chance. Let's like remove all the guns and add them back on. Because I just think it should be lower. Triple base. I noticed that with some other refits. If I build a new ship, it was as if all those repeatable techs got included, reducing my flash fire chance down even with no barbette protection. Anyway, we're gonna make these 5.9s, yeah. And a little bit longer. Maybe we're just gonna do one in the middle here. Yeah, that arc of fire is not too bad. That is a little bit better. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Armor on the turrets. You need to have armor, or else they get knocked out. So now we're overweight again. How to reduce? I can like gamble that the flash fire chance will not be an issue. 3%. It's not too bad. Yeah, we're doing that. That is the refit for the J48s. Reduced number of guns, but these are hopefully a bit more potent. We are scoring penetrating hits on 0.8 inches of armor out to 15 kilometers. And we might get lucky with the HE too. Maybe. Alright, on to the J54s. They need a similar style of refit. Alright. Same procedure. Single barrel 5-inch gun. It's gonna be a 5.9. Can they be placed along the side here? No, they can be placed here. We have starboard weight offset. That is what is that down to? Is that you? Yeah, I think so. Now it's overweight though. Are you that heavy? Well, a nice mounting point for it though. There we go. Now we can add some barbette protection there. And yeah, I think I'm going to remove those. That leaves us with only 3 5.9-inch guns. I would have liked there to be more than just 3. But I guess we can add a little bit more armor to those turrets. Make sure we don't lose them. Yeah, that is about the same as what we saw from the British Liberty class destroyer. Triple base, we're getting 15-kilometer range. Like, yeah, I don't know. Are we sure we can't add a couple more? No, they weigh too much. 36 tons and 62 tons of ammo for one 5.9-inch gun. What if we reduce ammunition? 1 ton over. But that got me my extra guns, at least. Forward offset 0.1. One more pixel. There we go. I mean, not bad. Flash fire chance is 1%. If I reduce this further, 1.5% is acceptable. We get a little bit more weight to put into something. .4 second reload, that's kind of on the slow side. There. Still 60 caliber, 9.2 second. Yeah, it's a little bit slow, but it works. It's fine. Standard torpedo ammo, that is fine. Electrohydro, that's too heavy. Electrohydro 2, I mean. Electric 2, that works. Makes the turrets a little bit faster. From 35 to plus 42. Decent enough, I guess. Yes, I think that's good enough. Might even ooh, no. There we go. That works. That's not much, but it's something. Adds a little bit of stability. Not much more I can do with regards to the armor. It is what it is. It can't be anything else. And now, on to Fridtjof Nansen. A little bit weird that the armor quality has not been adjusted to 202%, which it would have been with the repeatable text that I have. Yeah, no. It don't update. So what to do with this? I wanted to make the secondaries 5.9. Just give them a little bit more range. So they can actually do something about destroyers and such. If I make them longer, do they still fit? 60 calibers in length, 15.3 kilometer range. I mean, that's an improvement for sure. And they look kind of mean the way that they are. But we are now overweight. So I have another plan as well for this this class. Ooh, could this have 16-inch guns? Like all the time? Are we gonna upgun them to 16s? 16 doubles instead of 15 triples. Let's give them the same amount of armor. See what kind of weight difference we're talking about here. $14.48. 1506, so they're a little bit lighter actually. 16 twins. Yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Get a little bit more punching power. Do something about those pesky heavy cruisers that for some reason are difficult to deal with 15-inch guns. Deck armor seems to not play too much of a part here anyway, so let's just ignore that. See if I can save some weight by going to auxiliary 4. 423 versus it is 1 ton heavier, but I can pay 1 ton for that. That's fine. Can I reduce barbette protection? No. These I don't want to have explode on me, so but the range is pretty good. There we go, we just saved some more weight. And we're no longer overweight, but this is a 6-month refit program, so might not make it for the end of the campaign. Yeah, I think we can just go straight up to... No, we cannot go straight up to 5. .6 then, on the fore and aft belts. I would have liked to have more, but I can deal with it. I can save some weight here. Let's see, 54 caliber, so let's make them 55s at least, just to make that a nicer number. 14.2. And I guess making these 55s, that's just gonna blow the weight out of proportions, yeah. But it does add some more range and penetration. So there's that. Also generation 3 radar. Don't weigh nothing. So let's add it. Let's also beam it up just a little bit. I should have had this maxed out. Okay, we're not touching the main gun length then. Is that enough to make them 60s? No. Well, there you go. 1 ton under. 14.9 kilometer range on the 5.9s. So, should be decently effective against destroyers and such, I think. Yeah. We're going with this. And that is enough for today. We're gonna have to do the last convoy battles tomorrow and hopefully get those huge meeting engagements in the North Sea. Get another couple of Jutland battles under our belt. Goodbye, and take care.